What's going on, everyone? Dan here, bringing you a new deck profile for the Pokemon trading card game on PTCGO. And this deck is an old archetype that was floating around for a while when Burning Shadows had first released, and then it kind of just simmered out due to time. I don't know what the real reasoning was. Maybe it wasn't as good as what people had anticipated. It did win a few League Cups that I saw online. But I am here trying to revive it a little bit. A couple shout outs. One to my buddy John, who helped me put the list together, and Ross at PTCG Radio. This idea stems from a video that he had done earlier. So how this whole idea came about is I saw a video that Ross had done talking about doing a Volcanion Garbodor deck, making it work for the next format when Metal kind of reigns supreme. With the new Solgaleo coming out with the ability of no weaknesses, this should be able to counter that. So I wanted to shout out to him and John, who actually, so when I texted him the idea of doing like a Turtonator Garb deck, he sent me a list of what he thought would work, and then I adjusted it a little bit, so shout out to him. And yeah, I adjusted it to suit more of my gameplay style. I didn't like the Volcanion Garbodor specifically, just because I don't like having a ability lock with ability dependent decks. And I just don't. It's not really my style. So I figured this would probably be the better way to go. And so I bring you Ho-Oh Salazzle with Garbodor. So what we got here is we've got Ho-Oh. We have 3 copies of Ho-Oh in our deck. Sacred Fire, this attack does 50 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. He does have 190 HP, so it's not exactly the easiest card to one-hit. And one thing that Ho-Oh really thrives at right now, and is what's making it work against a lot of other decks on top of the new Solgaleo, is this pesky fighting resistance. So he can't just be jet punched for a lot of damage. He resists a lot of that. So against Buzzwoles and Lycanroc, they do have to come up with a little bit more expending their resources a little bit more in order to get the one-shot on Ho-Oh, which is very nice. We do play a 2-2 line of Salazzle. Ho-Oh is mainly going to be your setup, early game, take some prizes, and then Salazzle is going to come in and clean house towards the mid to late game. Wonderful card with 200 HP. It is a stage 1, so you don't have to go no stage 2, so you don't have to worry about rare candies or anything like that. You got Diabolical Claws, which is what makes this card so good towards the late game. 50 damage for each prize card you have taken. Heat Blast, if it comes down to it that you have to use your Heat Blast, does 110 damage. With a Choice Band, does 140. So it is a good attack, even if you're playing against something like Golisopod. Very, very good attack. And it's not a bad GX attack. Discard all energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. It helps against Gardevoir, which I assume is going to probably be very scarce with the next format. On top of that, it works against fighting decks that take so much energy to really get going. I really like Salazzle. We play 1 copy of Turtonator for mainly the mid game, where you might have lost one of your Ho-Ohs with 4 energies. You need to quickly get another Ho-Oh back into play. Maybe you just want to use Turtonator because you're going against that Gardevoir deck. Nitro Tank really helps set that up mid game. Late game, you're not really worrying about it, because if you're late game and you have to use Nitro Tank, you've probably already lost the game. Again, 190 HP, not exactly the easiest Pokemon to knock out. The thing I do like about it, it does have a water weakness, and our Ho-Oh has a lightning weakness. Shell Trap for 2 colorless does 20 damage, and then if Turtonator gets attacked, it does another 80 damage to your opponent. And then Bright Flame, 160, you discard 2 fire energy from this Pokemon. These cards are probably used in a lot of decks. They have been in the past with Volcanion. This is just kind of expanding on fire archetypes. We do play 1 Volcanion if we need it. Again, kind of the same thing with Turtonator, just kind of getting your fire energies out of your discard pile back onto your Pokemon. It does make it nice because you can discard fire energies earlier into the game, and then you can just get them back. It is nice. I have thought of a couple of different placements instead of Volcanion, kind of like Oranguru. Again, with Garbotoxin, it is kind of clunky and weird, but I have thought about doing that earlier in the game, so if you do get locked down with only a couple cards in hand, you do have a way to get some extra cards from your deck. 3 Tapu Leles. What I was finding out, I originally only had 2 Tapu Leles, but I would either start with a Tapu Lele, and then I'd have to Tapu Lele into something to kind of get a supporter going, and then mid to late game, if I needed a supporter, I did not have the extra Lele, so 3 seems to be good. I do play a 2-2 line of Trubbish Garbodor. Getting that Trubbish, I have thought about getting a third Trubbish instead of maybe Volcanion, just so that way I can get Trubbish out earlier in the game, because it is risky to Ultra Ball for that Trubbish later on, or even early. I don't really like Ultra Balling for Trubbish, but sometimes you have to, which will cost you sometimes in a supporter play. You know, you get your Lele, you have a choice between Lele and Trubbish, so you really have to take that into consideration. Garbotoxin just shuts off your opponent's abilities and yours, but mainly you're using it to shut down the ability on Solgaleo. That's what I was using it for, but it has shown its uses against Zoroark decks, so there is that, and Lycanroc, so they can't just pick you off or anything like that. They do need to get Field Blowers, and a lot of those decks are only running 1. This is probably the most questionable card I have had to mess around with a lot. I had Parallel City in here, and then remembered, oh wait, I'm playing a fire deck, so minus 20 to your attacks can cost you a few games. So I did take out the Parallel City, and then I found that Parallel City could be good for myself if I want to get rid of a few of my bench Pokemon that were maybe injured and are about to get knocked out. Either way, I did end up going with Enhanced Hammer. It does make it nice against Zoroarks and Buzzwolves where they're using strong energies. You can get rid of their strong energies or their double colorless energies, and it slows them down so you can get your Ho-Ohs and your Turtonators built up a lot easier without them just running rampant all over you. 2 Field Blowers, I am in the boat of having as many Field Blowers as you can fit in a deck. This one, I had 3, I've considered 4, but ultimately cut it down to 2. It does work. You're not really worried about getting one-shot too often, but it does come in handy when they have their Float Stones or Fighting Fury Belts. I'm not as concerned about Choice Bands, but those are 2 cards that I always try to get rid of, or other Parallel Cities. We do play 4 Max Elixirs just to help really get those Ho-Ohs set up again. 1 Super Rod, again, another card I was really torn with. It was either Super Rod or Rescue Stretcher. Both cards did very useful things for me, but I found that Super Rod being able to get my energies back into my deck showed to be more useful. 4 Ultra Balls, we play 4 Guzmas just to make sure that our Ho-Ohs don't get stuck in the active position when we don't want it, or our Garbodors. We do play a heavy line of Kiawe. This card is what makes this whole deck actually run. Being able to get 4 Fire Energies from my deck and attach it to any one Pokemon. Most games, I will say probably about 90% of my games, I have 2 Ho-Ohs set up, just ready to rock and roll, so I can retreat between the 2. And you're taking such huge knockouts pretty easily, and it just makes it work. And I really, really find myself dependent on this card. I have thought about taking one of these out and putting a Bridget in, but Bridgeting instead of Kiawe is almost a waste. I play 3 Ends. I did have 4, but later in the game, if I get stuck with more Ends than I am Sycamores, I don't like it, because you take prizes so quick and really becomes useless towards the mid to late games, in my opinion. 4 Sycamores, 3 Choice Bands, and 3 Float Stones. Yeah, I want to have 4 of each for the Garbodor, and in case I needed it for Ho-Ohs, but it's really not necessary to have 4 of either one. I've been able to get around it pretty easily. And I did go with 11 fire energies. I did have 12. 11 works just as well. I know a lot of people like higher counts of fire energies for that max elixir, but I have found, again, 11 seems to suit me very well, especially with Super Rod, Turtonator, Volcanion. You do get to dig into your discard pile a little bit, as well as Kiawe digging through your deck. You're really not going to be running into energy issues. At least I haven't. So, but that is it, guys. That is the deck. I hope you guys try it out, and anything you guys find, please leave it in the comments below. Let me know how you might adjust it a little bit. Like I said, I found it very effective. I'm very excited about this deck. I can't wait for the next format to really give it the trial that it's been waiting for. But as of right now, it works very well, especially against those fighting decks that have become so popular because of Ho-Oh. Being able to resist that, this deck is amazing, guys. We're going to jump into a game, so stay tuned, and it will be right after this. All right, about to hop into a game. Extremely excited about this deck, and I hope you guys will see the power behind it and see why I am so excited about it. All right, looks like we're going against maybe a Tapu Bulu deck. Let's see, or maybe it's actually a Golisopod Zoroark, which would really work in our favor. All right, that's not good. We will give away a mulligan. Let's see. Let's hope we don't start with Trubbish. Knock on wood. We probably will now. And ooh, we got quite a little setup here. So we'll go like that, and we'll go like that. Maybe I should have put Trubbish up front. Yeah, we'll see. Okay. They start the Zorua. We will probably get End. Oh no, they'll probably bridge it. Turn 1, bridge it. This will allow us to get a turn 1 Kiawe. And just start getting Ho-Oh built up. Okay. Let's see. We'll go ahead and drop our Lele. We're going to get a Kiawe. I don't really like doing this without a draw supporter, but it isn't the worst either. Let's go ahead and drop that. Drop that. We'll drop that, and we'll Kiawe. Onto the Ho-Oh. We should be able to start taking some knockouts pretty quick here. So we are set up, ready to go. If we can get a choice band, we can start taking out the Zoroarks. This is going to come in handy. Our Garbodors are going to come in handy to kind of slow down the Zoroark onslaught. So let's see. All I can hope for right now is an N. An N would be nice. Okay, I'm going to Mallow and do the classic trade Mallow. Probably going to get a DCE. Do what, 100 damage? Oh, they can't pull it off. Okay. Just go like that, I guess. And then we'll go ahead and Phoenix Burn. We'll do 100. maybe 150. Okay. So he'll get 150. I'll get a knockout here. And he will probably get a return knockout. Ooh, cool. And we got a Volcanion ready. This is actually working out pretty well. Let's see. I do want to get a Salazzle going here soon. We'll just go like this. Get rid of that. And we will evolve. So he can't do that anymore. We'll knock him out. Alright. Two prizes. He can't trade. He might be able to next turn, but let's see. Okay. So next turn what we'll do is we'll get rid of the N because N won't be necessary. We'll promote the Garbodor so that way we have a free retreat cost and it gives us a little bit of time to set stuff up. We will be taking a knockout with Volcanion. He doesn't... Actually, we'll go like this. We need the Choice Band. We need Enhanced Hammer. Dang. Okay, we'll go like this. Discard that for now. I do play Super Rod, but let's see. Do we want Salazzle or do we want another Ho? We're going to be taking another knockout here soon, so let's go like this. We'll go like that. And nothing. And okay, so we did get a Sycamore for next turn, and easy peasy. Okay. So this has been an easy match so far, nothing too complicated. Either way, we're going to be getting a pretty stellar knockout here, I think. Unless he ends us. That would be pretty bad. Okay. So if he knocks out Volcanion, which I don't think he actually can here, even with Golisopod, he could with... No, he couldn't even do it with Zoroark. So Volcanion's safe. And we could get Salazzle out, which is what we're going. That's the plan. And we have just got ourselves a win here. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to get some more of those. Yeah, we might as well. You know what? I know I have another Salazzle, but just in case. Go like that, and like that. We'll get our Salazzle here, and we're going to do, what, 200 damage? So we need that, and victory is ours. Alright, guys. That was a wonderful game. That just shows the power of the quick Ho-Oh setup and then Salazzle really coming in for the win. Volcanion put in some work, and I was really impressed by that. But thanks for staying tuned, guys, and please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and like the video, helps me out, and hope to see you guys next time.